Mick right with you through until 9. Good to have you on board. And, of course, it is that time of the month, the second Friday morning. We're speaking to our great friend, nutritionist and naturopath Kelli Kieselbach is joining us this morning. How you doing, Kelli?
I'm doing well. Bit chilly, but I'm trying to stay well with my hot cuppa.
Ah, yes, that's the go. I think I definitely need one of those shortly, I think. It'll be probably want to have some breakfast and get the coffee happening for me.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a coffee drinker. I love it. So it's always nice on these type of mornings. Now, we are having a bit of a chat this morning, as I've sort of already mentioned during the lead up to our segment, about cold and flu season. It is upon us, as it happens every year, unfortunately, and obviously with the colder weather about, you have more of a propensity for the dreaded lurgy to be floating around in the atmosphere and being passed from person to person. So, a lot of people, I guess, out there can be a little bit anxious about it, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, regardless of your situation, it's very disruptive to get sick, have to take time off work or time off with the kids and it does set you back a bit in your health. And I think particularly for people who already have a lot of health issues going on, maybe they've already got some chronic conditions that they're trying to manage, catching a cold or, some sort of virus can really throw them into a flare and really set them back significantly. And that just adds to that anxiety around their health and what it's going to mean for them if they do get sick. So, yeah, I mean, there are different levels to it, but certainly, I think everyone feels a little bit stressed about it at various times.
Yep, definitely. And like you said, having to take time off work is one thing, but also, particularly probably the worst time to get sick is around the weekends and holidays. Because
Yes.
you're thinking, I had so much planned to do, and now I'm sort of flat on my back in bed or on the lounge or wherever with a blanket thrown over me, and I've got the hot drinks and, all the symptoms are going on. You've got the blocked nose or the runny nose. You've got the coughing and the headaches and all that kind of stuff. And, of course, COVID's still floating about the place.
Yep.
Variant after variant and everything else. So there is a little bit out there to make sure you look at. And like you say, if you do have some other chronic health conditions, that can really exacerbate it. So I guess some of the things that we probably should look at this morning is probably three different areas. And, I guess some of the things that we can do to actually, either stave it off or to, shorten up your recovery time fairly significantly. So I guess the first thing that we're looking at this morning is, what were some of the things that you sort of do personally as a naturopath and a nutritionist?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a number of things. Obviously, I get very intentional about my diet and, including foods that I know have that therapeutic properties, specifically either to support my immune system, to help bring balance to my immune system, or to provide me with those important nutrients. And some foods as well have been shown to have some sort of antimicrobial or antiviral effects as well. So, yeah, I get very specific about my diet and adding some specific foods in more regularly. The other thing that I will always do is I want to check my vitamin D status because it's not uncommon in Australia for people to be vitamin D deficient. In fact, sort of around the 25% mark is estimated of people that have a vitamin D deficiency. And we know that that increases the risk of cold and flu. So, and it's not necessarily that you have to, that everyone should be taking vitamin D, but I do like people to get their levels checked, and even more so if they've already got health issues going on. And we also have to remember when it says that, 1 in 4 people have vitamin D deficiency, that's based on the current reference ranges, which the more recent research may suggest that that is actually suboptimal. So we want them even a little much higher than just above the reference range. What else am I doing? I'm really utilizing the herbal teas. So herbal teas
Gotta
are
love the herbal teas. Come on.
so good. Like, it's such a fantastic way to use herbal medicine or plant medicines because it's so accessible, it's inexpensive, very gentle, generally very safe. So I am drinking copious amounts of green tea at the moment because green tea helps with, it's not only a fantastic antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, but there's some evidence that it also helps to prevent the virus from entering into the human cell, which is what it needs to do in order to replicate and make you feel unwell. So lots of green tea. Lots of ginger is another go-to as well. Ginger being anti-inflammatory, having some immune support effects as well. And then if I get sick, then there are a whole host of other herbal teas that I might use just to help soothe and alleviate symptoms. Things like licorice, ginger would definitely be coming in there as well. Other things, definitely prioritizing sleep.
Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it?
Sleep and relaxation, yeah. Making sure I'm fitting into that schedule. And you know what? If I have to leave the dishes to get to bed on time, then, so be it. I mean, it's not hard for me to do that. Trying to not burn the candle at both ends, making sure that I'm having a really good routine, trying to get to bed the same time each night, trying to do something to wind down before bed as well to improve my quality of sleep. And if need be, maybe using some really gentle herbs or some magnesium or something just to support that quality of sleep.
Yeah. One of the things that can often get overlooked during the colder months, I mean, we talk about drinking, herbal teas and coffees and all that kind of stuff, all the hot drinks, but just staying hydrated is a huge thing, isn't it? And again, often people overlook it because we think, oh, it's freezing cold out there. I don't want to be drinking water. But, sipping on water throughout the day is a massively underrated thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And I think this is where having some tools and ideas for people who really struggle to drink water is important. So, utilize your herbal teas. So this can help you stay hydrated. And particularly your non-caffeinated herbal teas will help with that hydration. You can always also just drink warm water or hot water if you don't want the cold beverage side of it. Set reminders on your phone to have a drink every hour. All these kinds of things can really help to make sure that you're meeting your requirements throughout the day. Yep.
And again, I guess there's a lot of, I guess you always sort of see it out there, how much water you should drink. I mean, for me personally, there's some of the numbers out there. I'm thinking, man, I'd never leave the bathroom if I drank that much water out there that they're trying to say to you. But I mean, probably sipping throughout the day would be the go, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would say sipping throughout the day. And I mean, you need to adjust it for your personal circumstances. So if you're not doing a lot of exercise, if you're a smaller person, then, you're probably not going to need as much as someone who's hitting the gym all the time, or definitely not going to need as much as someone who's hitting the gym all the time or who's a larger build. There is a calculation, and I cannot remember it off the top of my head, but to sort of, estimate how much water you might require. And I'm sorry, I can't remember that right now, but
That's
it's,
fine.
A certain amount of mils per kilogram of weight, type of thing. And it can be a bit of a guide, not that you need to be exactly, on that number, but it can help guide you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, people could probably just do a quick Google search of that at some point through the day anyway and check that out. You can pretty well find everything else out there that you need to know. We'll take a short break. We are joined this morning. A great friend of the station here, Kelli Kieselbach, is joining us. We are naturally speaking with Kelli this morning. We're looking at some of those ways that you can, some of the things that you can put into place to keep your immune system in top shape, particularly during these colder months. With the cold and flu season upon us. We'll be back right after this. It's Rima Brecky. Stay with us. It's 22 and a half minutes after 8 on your Friday morning edition of Rima Brecky. Nice to have your company, Mick Wright, with you through until 9. And, of course, we are naturally speaking this morning. Kelli Kieselbach is joining us, our nutritionist, great friend nutritionist and naturopath. And, of course, look, we're talking about colds and flu season and some of the things that you can do to actually strengthen your immune system. And even if you do end up getting the lurgy, these are going to be great ways for you to actually shorten up your recovery time fairly substantially as well. Now, Kelli, some of the herbs, and I mean, obviously being a naturopath, some of the herbs and the nutrients that you really endorse for cold and flu season.
Mm. Yeah, okay. So let's talk about vitamin C because that's everyone's favorite and go-to.
It is, isn't
Um,
it? Has been for a long
it,
time, I think.
yeah, yeah. So I guess the first thing before we even get into that, it's really important to realize that supplements are supportive. So they will go alongside with whatever you're doing with your diet and lifestyle. So it's important not to rely on supplements alone.
Mm.
And it's also really important that you get some advice around what is going to be the most appropriate and safest for you. Because whilst these are natural remedies and generally quite gentle, there are some cautions and contraindications that you need to be aware of. So just my little disclaimer there. But yeah, vitamin C is great. Usually I will recommend people get vitamin C that also has bioflavonoids in it. So
Mm-hmm.
bioflavonoids are another antioxidant and they together work more effectively. But this is really important for your immune cells. And our bodies don't make vitamin C like they do some other vitamins. Other animals make their own vitamin C, but humans don't. Another one is echinacea. So echinacea is a fantastic herb. It
Mm-hmm.
helps to support the immune system and it has some antiviral impact as well. And of course, zinc. So zinc is antiviral. Now, I like zinc for as soon as you feel a cold coming on, and for the duration of the cold. I generally don't recommend people take zinc for long term, ongoingly, especially in high doses, unless it's been prescribed to you for a specific reason. But otherwise, this is something we would use, short term at the beginning and the duration of the cold for maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Astragalus is another one of my favorite herbs. This one we would use for prevention specifically and also for convalescence. So it's been shown to help reduce post-viral fatigue. And it's a great one because it's also an adaptogen, which means that it helps to regulate and support the immune health. But it also is supporting it via the adrenals and that stress response. So helping the nervous system, helping you cope better with stress, which in turn helps your immune system.
I've actually had a go at the astragalus. Oh gosh, it was kind of years ago now. I got a really severe infection and from a cold and flu and things like that. And a great friend of mine actually put me onto it and said, look, try this stuff and see how you go. I mean, obviously I was in consultation with a doctor and things like that.
Yeah.
And probably in about a 48-hour period, I think, my symptoms and everything had almost completely disappeared. I was like, this stuff is absolutely amazing. So I thought, right, that one's going in the toolkit for sure. So, yeah, post-viral, or pre or post-viral infection, astragalus is a game changer.
Absolutely. I love that one. And I would also say medicinal mushrooms. So I only ever prescribe medicinal mushrooms together because there's a whole bunch of them. So, reishi, shiitake, turkey tail, lion's mane. And from what we see in the research, they seem to work better when they are in a combination together because they have synergy together. Because of the various components in them. So these contain beta-glucans, which support our immune system. I love medicinal mushrooms both for chronic infection and for prevention, but also in acute, when you actually get the virus, increasing the dose for that period of time can be really, really helpful. And again, they are also help support that stress response. So having a dual action.
Will that be in a powder form, the mushrooms?
It'll be a powder or a tablet or or a capsule. You can source various ones. Yep. I mean, quality does matter when we're talking about these things. So, this is where it's great to get some advice. But you can get it in various forms. Yeah. Quercetin is another great one that it's anti-inflammatory, can really support immune function. And licorice root is one that I like in the acute stage. Oh, it's so good for a sore throat.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You can either do licorice tea or chewable licorice, not licorice the lolly, just make that clear. But licorice the herb, or the tea, really great there. So that'd be some of my favorites on top of my list.
Now, also, obviously, you say that these are all supportive. So obviously the main thing that we have is our diet. But some of the really good immune boosting foods that you add in, what are some of those?
Yeah, so I would start with kiwi fruit. So very high vitamin C content kiwi fruit, even more so than your citrus, I believe. And it's also a great fruit for the gut as well. And we know the gut is the hub of the immune system. So it's the center where everything regulates and the first line of defense as well. So it has that dual action of providing those nutrients, but also feeding our good bacteria, which, long-term supports that immune function. I'm using a lot of herbs and spices, so fresh garlic, fresh ginger, making lots of curries this time of year. The antiviral effects, immune regulating effects, anti-inflammatory. So many benefits there to adding those to your food. Lots of leafy greens. So we want the folate, we want the magnesium, we want the fiber again. And that can also be super supportive. Also doing lots of soups and bone broths because these are very rich in minerals. It's another great way to stay hydrated actually in the winter months. If you do like doing a nice broth, and you're putting lots of veggies in there and some protein. That can be really, really nice and nourishing, both, just throughout winter in general, but also if you do become unwell, it could be a great way to nourish yourself. Very comforting as well.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like it in the winter months.
Yeah, yeah. And onions, great quercetin content. They have some antimicrobial, antiviral properties as well. So love the onions. And I know that, it's common to say, eat more garlic, eat more onions. If you have a sensitive gut and you find that you can't tolerate the garlic and onions, which is not uncommon, it might be time to really look at what's going on in your gut, because that's a sign that the balance or things aren't quite right. Sure. And because that gut health is so important for our immune function, take that as a sign that you need to sort of address that as a foundational aspect of your immune health as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, we mentioned this one earlier about the formula. You do have the formula for us for hydration, yeah?
Oh, I do. Yes. Yep. So it's 35 mils per kilogram of body weight.
Right.
So if you can calculate that, 35 times whatever your weight is.
Yep. So all the math brains out there are all the math brains right now clicking over with that one. Other people thinking, wait, let me get the calculator out of my phone.
I know. Sorry, I'm not going to do the maths for you. I'm just giving you the formula.
That's exactly right. Well, I mean, some people are probably thinking, you're not going to know my weight this morning, that's for sure. But I'll do the figures at home when I get there. Kelli, as always, look, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And look, if people want to find out some of your resources, and look, you post some great things on IG as well in different places. How can they go about following you?
Yes, please follow me. I'd love you to, be part of the community there. So it's on Instagram, Kelli K_naturopath. So it's KELLIK_naturopath. Or on Facebook, if you search Kelli K Health, I'll come up. And you can also go to my website, and all my contact details are on there as well, which is kellik.com.au. So Kelli with an I. I'd love to connect with you.
Brilliant. And again, look, there are so many great resources on your social media pages, and of course the website too. So people get onto them, check them out, and stay healthy. Get healthy and stay healthy. That is the big key this morning. Kelli, thank you so much as per usual, and look, we'll talk to you next month.
Sounds great. See you then.
See ya. That is our great friend there, our naturopath and nutritionist Kelli Kieselbach, joining us this morning. Naturally speaking, stay with us. We've got the news coming up next.